Okay, hello, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to day 3 of Remodel Your Ramadan, our free 5-day challenge. We're on day 3, so this is the middle. We're halfway there, and I've got a little bit of news at the end to share with you about the schedule. So let's get to it. Day 3, I'm calling cleanup time. So if day 2 was demolition day, we need to start cleaning up, and I think cleaning up is perfect symbolic language for rocking your nutrition. So we are focusing on pillar number 4, rock your nutrition. And there is a lot to talk about here today. So as usual, I will do my very best to not go too long. So I would like you to just first reflect a little bit with our 4M formula. We're being mindful here and taking a look at our mindset right now. And I'd like you to ask yourself or think about how would you describe your eating habits right now? And you can think about, what are you satisfied with what you're doing right now? What are you maybe not so satisfied with? Maybe you already have an idea of some things that you'd like to shift or change before Ramadan right now is a great time to start. So you're in some better habits already when Ramadan comes, which is getting closer every day, inshaAllah. And also with the mindset piece. So really the first question is being more aware and observant and reflective and mindful. And the second question here, what does healthy eating mean to you? And so that's really more about what your beliefs and mindset are around food. So think about what that means. And even if you think, and how that makes you feel as well. Because, healthy eating, if I have an idea that, I have to eat a lot of salad to be healthy, and I'm just not really a big fan of salads all the time, that's not, first of all, it's not necessarily true that that's what you have to do. And number 2, if it's something that's off-putting to you, it's just not attractive to you, you're not going to do it. So we want to take a look at our belief system. And moving on in that vein, just a reminder, yes, I realized that we touched on some new habits that we could start already yesterday with talking about removing toxins. So this all still applies. I'm not going to go through them all again, but it was the slide about drink more water and eating certain vegetables that are helpful with detox, removing chemical cleaners, getting rid of refined sugars, processed foods, chemical sweeteners. So that's as much as I'll say there. That all still applies. And I know it can be very confusing trying to learn, well, what is the best diet, or what is the best way of eating? And in some ways, it's a very individual issue because we are all different. But in other ways, there are some pretty basic truths that hold true for almost everyone across the board. So I like to go for these things. And then there is room for individuality within each of these areas. So what do most experts agree is a healthy diet for the long term? And that's what we're talking about. The word diet, I think, even has a lot of negative connotations to it. So I don't like using that word, but in reality, it does mean the way of eating, your way of eating. And whenever I talk about diet, please put out of your mind fad diets, short-term things, programs that are just not sustainable. By diet, I simply mean, what do you tend to eat on a day-to-day or weekly basis? So whatever we're talking about here, it really is a lifestyle shift. And we're really talking about what the norm should be for the long term. So I apologize, I've got something on the screen there. Okay, so first of all, eat more whole plant-based foods. Okay, that's simple. That's basic, it's simple, and it's true. You can look anywhere. Okay, I'm not going to bother referencing these things because they're all over the place. And if you need references, I encourage you to go find them yourself, because really, I I can't be holding hands to that degree. If you're not believing this, there's a whole lot of other issues going on, or you're not willing to believe it. So really, you should be eating more plant-based foods than packaged or processed items or animal products. It's plain and simple. The science is there. It's clear. Thousands and thousands of research studies all over the place. So that is the truth. And if you don't believe it, it's a mindset issue. I guess, if you're open-minded enough, I'd be willing to talk further with you about that. The next one is eat loads of leafy greens. Okay, it's specifically some of the best plants to eat are leafy greens. And the more variety you can get within that subgroup, the better. Because every different variety of things, every different thing that we eat, diversity really is what we should be striving for. Eating the same 10 foods day in and day out, or week in and week out, it really limits our bodies. It limits the amount of nutrition and the types of nutrients that we're getting. Include plenty of other veggies and fruit too, especially ones when we're talking about fruit, and also some vegetables. Especially try to stick to what's called the low glycemic index vegetables and fruits, things that are not too high in sugar, because that can cause problems. Even though it's whole fruit or whole vegetables, natural sugar, we still don't want too much sugar in our bodies. Eat healthy, lean protein more often than the fatty, unhealthy stuff. And again, this can include plenty of vegetable sources of protein. So that's legumes, which means beans, peas, these kinds of things, nuts, seeds, etc. And also healthy fats. And nuts and seeds fit into the healthy fats category as well. So it's kind of a twofer, 2-for-1, including healthy oils if you're cooking or dressing salads or making dressings and sauces. Sticking with things like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. It's interesting. There is some controversy about that. I know it's all the rage, and I'm a user of that. And that I wouldn't worry about being too picky about that. But again, with the idea of variety, this is also an area where you don't want to just be using the same one oil all the time for everything. This also includes omega-3 rich fish and seafood, because fat is actually essential, and it's really helpful for all different processes in our bodies and organs in our bodies. Our brains need fat to function properly. The list goes on, and really making sure that they are healthy fats. Complex carbohydrates as opposed to simple carbs, right? So again, whole foods like a sweet potato, for example, it's a carbohydrate, and it's got some sweetness to it. It's got some sugar, but it's complex. So it takes your body some time to break it down and convert it into its essential components. And if you look on the other hand, something like white rice, or a regular potato, anything with flour, with wheat flour, gluten flour, these are simple carbs, and they really are very low in nutrients. They're not nutrient dense foods. So, it's best to limit those things for all sorts of reasons as well. If you want any more suggestions about what you should be shopping for, Shackley on their blog, they have a very nice article. It's readable, and it's called a nutritionist's grocery haul. And I will put all links that I reference in today's video in the description notes in YouTube. So that was a lot, I know, on that one slide. Let's move on. Continuing to rock your nutrition. Another way to look at what are healthy foods, another way to look at what you should eat in your day, if you can, is eat the rainbow. And that means that helps you and it helps to show you and help keep you on track for getting a variety of different types of foods in your day, so that you are getting hopefully a wide variety of nutrients. So again, including natural whole foods of all different colors over the course of your day and every day if possible. I have a link here to the Food Revolution Network, their website. They have a nice article about eating the rainbow. And it's very interesting too, to help you understand what the benefits of different colored vegetables or foods are with phytonutrients and what they do for our bodies. It's pretty interesting and might motivate you more to maybe expand the color palette of your typical plate. Another thing that you may have heard of, it's called G-BOMBS. This is an acronym. I like to say shoot for G-BOMBS every day. Both of these rules we practice in our household, and my kids, they love to play the game. It's like, oh, did we get our G-BOMBS today? Or how are we doing with the rainbow? And they'll go through and think about which colors we've eaten so far and what we should try to get in before the end of the day. G-BOMBS, these are considered anti-cancer foods. And again, there are the greens coming up again, leafy greens, but any green vegetables really. B is for beans or other legumes, lentils and these kinds of things. Onions, it's not just onions, it can be anything in that family, like garlic, green onions, shallots, all these kinds of things. Mushrooms, M is for mushrooms. I know not everybody's a fan, but mushrooms have some fantastic qualities as well and nutrients and such for our bodies. And then the S is for seeds and nuts. So again, you're seeing this repeated again, and I'm just giving it in different ways because we all learn differently and we all remember things differently. And this is a really fun way to include your kids in the discussion. And really, they need to be learning about their food as well and eating healthily as well. So Dr. Furman has a nice article on his website about the healthiest anti-cancer foods, which go by the acronym G-BOMBS. Moving on. So even if you're following all this advice, I know my family and we have made quite a journey over the past many years. You can still have nutrient deficiencies, believe it or not, even if you're following all of this and doing very well and limiting the junk food or the dinners or lunches out. For various reasons, you can still have some deficiencies with certain nutrients. The question is, how can you know? How do you know? And I think probably more particularly with the AHEAD map that I had suggested on day one, that I believe would probably help out with pointing out some of that, some of those potential nutrient deficiencies. But if you want to see a list, again, it's along the lines of symptoms and how you're feeling and this sort of thing, which showed up in both of the assessments that I suggested, the MSQ and the AHEAD map. Again, just taking a moment to be mindful of what your body is doing and feeling. And Shaklee, again, they have a nice article that says how to tell if you still have a nutrient gap, even if you're already taking supplements. So this is even going beyond eating well. And even if you're also taking supplements along with a healthy diet, you can still be having some gaps. So what can you do? Well, again, we can come back to that step of evaluate, right? First pillar is evaluate and commit. So if you're thinking, yeah, I think I'm probably missing some things in my diet. I don't eat so well. I'm working on that, but I would like to maybe add some supplements in. And so you are so welcome to take what's called the Meology assessment. And if that makes no sense to you, what's Meology and what's this all about? If you haven't heard about this from me before, there is a 1-minute video. I will put the link in the video description notes. And it's just 1 minute long. It will explain it a little bit. It's fantastic. It's a tailored, personalized, totally personalized supplement system. And it goes by a 5-minute assessment that you take. I think it's about 20 questions or so, very easy to do, all online. You can access it right from my website. at https://bit.ly/shop capital L and then small AURA. You'll see a button right there about Meology. You can click it. All you need is your name and your email address. There is no obligation to buy anything. I think what's beautiful about this is it really takes all of your answers into account, your individuality, and it gives you recommendations, 2 sets of recommendations for supplements. So even if for whatever reason you're not interested in ordering from Shaklee, which of course I would highly recommend compared to buying things off the shelf or off Amazon, but regardless, it will give you some information for free. So you can think, oh gosh, yeah, maybe I need some, B complex vitamins in my life, or yeah, that would help, this or that. And I really highly recommend that because it can't hurt. It's free and it's linked to me. It will email me that you have completed a Meology assessment, and then we can have a chat if you like. So last up, here we are, activities. I feel like I'm just speeding through this, but so Rock Your Nutrition activities for today. Please share in the Telegram group or directly with me WhatsApp if you're not in the group. What is going well with your current diet? What do you think you're doing well with? And your top maybe 1 or 2 areas for improvement, what you'd maybe like to work on as far as diet, specifically nutrition. Okay, and then 2, I think it's a good idea and it can't hurt to take the free, no obligation Meology assessment and see where you're at maybe with vitamin or mineral suggestions there and other supplements. It only takes 5 minutes and you know where to find it. I'll put the link in the show notes. And then as a free benefit, anybody who completes the Meology assessment, and this is true for anybody who's done it already before, you are welcome to retake it again. And we can chat for, consider it maybe about a 20-minute call. And that's free. That's free benefit. I'm so happy to chat with you and just go through it. I'm not a pushy salesperson. It's not a hard sell. I'm Laura. Most of you know me. And it's really to get an idea of what your goals are and where your areas are for improvement, even just supplement wise and activity wise, perhaps. And then we can go from there. If you want to order, great. If you don't, no problem. Just consider this part of the Remodel Your Ramadan free 5-day challenge. We'll call it good. I do like to do the calls in Teleport because it's directly linked to this Set More account of mine, which is my appointment booking system. But if for some reason you don't want to deal with it, I mean, it behaves just like Zoom, but it doesn't have the annoying time limit on it. So, but it's okay. I can be flexible. And I think that's it then. So I think I did fairly well this time on time. We'll see. I'm getting better and better. So again, as always, if you have any questions, contact me, reach out. And my big announcement that I mentioned, I alluded to at the beginning, is that if you noticed, maybe you noticed, there is nothing specific to Ramadan in these nutrition recommendations for today. And I noticed that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got through all of that and we still haven't talked about how to deal with Ramadan. So don't worry, because this is actually just part 1 of Pillar 4, Rock Your Nutrition. I am going to be giving a bonus episode, a bonus video for Rock Your Nutrition, the Ramadan edition. Okay, so we can have we can discuss specific strategies, tips, and information regarding how to make sure you are getting good nutrition during Ramadan, during the fasting and all of that. So never fear, these go hand in hand, right? There are general recommendations and then there are things to do as well during Ramadan. Okay, so without any further ado, I will stop here. I wish you a wonderful day or evening, whatever time you're watching this. I'm so happy to have you with me, and please do connect, because there's not a whole lot of activity going on in messages and in the Telegram group. So, hey, yeah, I'd love to hear from you. All right. Okay. You have a fantastic day. I'll stop sharing my screen now. I think I already did. And we'll stop recording. Bye-bye. Till next time, inshallah.